welcome back to another video. Let's go ahead and start with this application. And first, let's say hi to my little kitten Gigi. He is so cute. So let's get started with this application. So my hand is prepped and ready to go. I'm using Valentino Perfect Nude and my Young Nails acrylic monomer and a size 12 brush. Now let's go ahead and start with the tip bead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pats into the acrylic. I used all of the liquid in my brush to create this bead. Now you can see it's the perfect length or the perfect size or amount for this length of nails. So of course it's going to depend on the length of your nail. If it's a little shorter, you need to adjust it and go from there. It's going to be easier once you kind of get the hang of it if you're not used to working this way. If you always do one nail at a time, it's going to be a little bit simpler to lay out the steps and get evenness in all of the nails and not waste any product. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it again. Sometimes it's different for the pinky. You're going to need a little bit less, but usually if it's a little too much, you can just file it down if it's too thick. But at least you know it's going to be smooth. Okay, let's go ahead and take off a little bit of the liquid. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I did 7 on this one. It was a little bit more. So maybe 6 or 7 on the larger nails compared to the pinky. So you're going to kind of get a feel for how much product you need. And I'm not saying use exactly this amount of acrylic. You're gonna figure it out as you go along. It's just gonna be kind of a guideline. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next one. You can see I'm wasting very little bit of product. I'm gonna reset my powder, dip it in the liquid, clean off just the tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had a little bit of a light in there, but I'm going to do 6. And I think one of these was a little bit, it should have had a little bit more, so I added some on the tip. So I would maybe say about 7 pats is going to be good. Now, I do want to get another size 14 brush because as you can see, I'm doing more pats in the liquid, so it's kind of setting while I'm patting it, right? It's starting that process because the liquid already met the powder. So I'm thinking I want to get another brush because I misplaced my brush. I lost it. I don't know where my size 14 brush is. So I want to get another one and kind of do this ratio again. But for right now, my size 12, you already know, that is my go-to. Alright, now that we have the tip on all of the nails, I'm going to go in and do the apex. So I'm going to clean off half of the brush. 1, 2, 3 to 4 of these little pats, and you're going to blend that into the nail and smooth it out. Now, it may not create the smoothest transition. So at this point, instead of adding more acrylic on the cuticle and then balancing it out, you can just balance it out right now before you continue. So I'm going to add a smaller bead. I dipped it in 2 times and I'm going to apply it in reverse. That way it creates a smooth transition, but I'm not making the tip much thicker, maybe about halfway through, and that's just to blend that bead in. So I'm going to continue and do the same application on all of the nails. So I'm going to reset my powder, take about half of the liquid off, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to blend that in. Now this is going to create a smaller section, so we're not covering a lot of the nail compared to the first bead. You see it covered a large section of the nail, right? Because it's a long nail. So always start on the tip. If it's a very, very small tip, if it's a long tip, if you focus on that, you're going to have consistency throughout, and it's going to be so much easier to file, saving you a lot of time, not only on the application, because this application, if I would have done all 10 fingers, it would have taken about 40 minutes from start to finish of just the application, not the prep, of course. So maybe an hour, and that's for some long length nails. And with the design, if it's simple to complex, the set would take about an hour and a half to 2 hours, right? In real time, in real life. So that's pretty quick considering the length of the nails. So this technique really helps with all over application to the finishing, because you're not filing off as much, you're not cleaning up as much. You have it exactly planned out because every nail is the same, and that's the goal. So I'm going to finish up the apex bead or the middle bead, the connecting bead, and then you're going to see me only do one finger of the cuticle, and that's because I lost all of that footage. I did not record it on accident. So I'll show you the cuticle bead on the pointer finger. Now, when it comes to the cuticle, you want to stop and assess, of course, how much nail is still left, how much needs covered. So I'm going to take a small bead and apply that in the cuticle area and push it up as I place it on the nail. Push it up and tap it, and then with the very tip of my brush, I'm going to connect it and start to press down with a little bit more pressure as I go. So I'm working with this small bead, and then I'm going to add another connecting bead to this just to even everything out. Now you can just leave that alone if you would like to, but I always like to make it a little bit more smooth and add this connecting bead that I apply in reverse, just as so. Once I'm done doing the application, I'm going to push the nail up. That way the nail looks nice and finished, and I don't have a little space there. Now, of course, it's only going to work for the practice hands, of course. Alright, and hopefully this video was helpful. That's the finished steps. Hopefully this helps you with your application, making it smoother, faster, and saving more product. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.